Andre Wade was just released once again, just come to reminisce about some things.
Jamil, you don't have to break nothing.
Yeah. Time of blackout here over here in Home Clark. Lights been out for the last 3 days due to the little weather episode we went through. Praying peace upon y'all families today. Praying peace on those who are incarcerated, men, women, and teenagers. So we here, we here, and things is just looking up. It don't matter, everything's good. Everything's good. Just thought I'd come by, stop by, just release and do a video. Yeah, I was thinking about the time, when I was on East Ham, and on East Ham, at this time I worked the back gate. I was a back gate SSI, and it was pretty that morning. It was pretty, the weather was good, and all of a sudden the weather changed. It changed, and we had a flash flood warning. We had a hurricane warning that supposed that came in that area in which we was at, which was Lovelady, Texas, between Lovelady, Texas, and Midway, Texas, and it was an experience that I had never experienced, because, like I say, I was the back gate SSI, and I was at work at that time. And when the storm started coming in the game, you could see the clouds. You can see the clouds where it was getting dark and everything. And all of a sudden it got real dark, right? And then you heard this, and it started, raining and everything. It started storming, and all of a sudden you can hear this sound. You hear this sound in the distance, and it was like a hard train. It was like a hard train that was pushing and coming, right? And now and it was a tornado. It was a tornado. A tornado had hit down the Trinity River. It came down the Trinity River, and in between the Trinity River is East Ham and Ferguson, two state penitentiaries. And they had this Trinity, this river, big old river that separate these two plantations. So, man, this tornado, man, came down the Trinity at a time while I was at work. And we had a storm, a tornado. Boy, storms that you can remember while being in prison. You had weather storms that shut facilities down to the point where they had to move all the inmates off of that tank, off of that facility, and transform to another place where they had to where they didn't have storms in that area, and they moved them to them areas. And they was real pick places, because the storm didn't come in them areas. They had to move you across Texas from north to down to the south, or from south up to the north or west or east. That's what they did to keep you, I guess, alive.
Andre, I want you to have
But I ain't gonna do it.
Andre.
Where that boy at?
What boy?
Ron B.
I don't know. I guess he coming when it cool off. And then you talk to him crazy, so you wait on him to come do it.
I'll say, times you have to wait on somebody to make some money, trying to allow him to make him some money. And I guess it's too hard for him, I guess. But it's all right. But storms, I experienced while, being in prison, I remember a time when, again, on Eastham, we had a storm and then we had some busted pipes. And the busted pipes caused us on the facility to be out of water for almost a month.
I thought he plugged the TV back up in the fan.
No. Parent to court. I was watching this parent to court, and when they parented, they look and see if the child belongs to you. And they had on this show the mother of the daughter who has the baby that's supposed to be from the young man she felt like that wasn't his baby. That wasn't his baby, and so the grandmother brought the daughter to court. Brought the daughter to court. Come find out it ain't the boy child, and he kind of messed up spiritually, whatever. He messed up. But I was on Eastham at the time, and the pipes busted, and we was without water for almost a month. And when the water did come on, because Eastham also had a big old tower, and this tower was a water, one of them big water tanks, and a lot of the water came from them tanks that was up on Eastham land, and what took place is that at this time I think they was running out of Lovelady water system, and this is what caused them to hey, we got something cold to drink up in there, Tremere? Yeah, could y'all give me one, man, please? And things went on that compound to the point where they was running a lot of stuff of the old way and wasn't up to date in a sense, of how they do things. So it was complicated because you had all them old officers with them old plantated mindsets that was still acting in the manner of penitentiary of the 1800s or something, and so that stuff wasn't working, it wasn't working right. The tower, I remember one time the tower had collapsed. And you know what I'm saying? All this time it didn't bust the water tank and everything, but you know, and they had this either the largest field system or the second largest field system in the whole region, you know, and you know, and that just says, you know, because down probably 73% of their livestock or they foundation was picking cotton, you know, and this stage just didn't sit right in a sense of storms, because it was so much built upon the old way, and instead of improving for the new way, they was just sitting there, and when the storms came, you know, it was something totally different, you know. It was a different outlook. And so we think that we be knowing things by being in these institutions. And what I mean by knowing things is that, you know, we feel that we can be in a storm and be well protected, you know, and that's true, because like I say, before a storm hit, and considering the danger of the storm, they'll evacuate the facilities. They'll evacuate the units of all mankind. But I remember a time on Styles unit when a hurricane had hit the Beaumont and the whole city. Thank you. The whole city had evacuated, and the whole city was gone except Styles unit, and I think the federal unit offenders, and all the officers that was caught up working there that couldn't leave, had to shower on the unit and everything. Yeah, it was a mess, man. I'm talking about inmates and officers showering in bad condition of water. I'm talking about water was like dark brown, and but you wanted to bathe so bad that you bathed in that water, even the officers. But in times of storms, while being in prison, you know, can affect somebody that's locked up, right? You locked up and you know a storm is about to hit, and it's close to the hometown where you live, right? And the next morning you wake up and you see the news and you read about how much of a disaster, how much the storm had destroyed in the hometown where you from. Now, you know, that takes you to another mental stage of effect where, you know, you be kind of messed up. You know, you be kind of messed up because here it is, you know, a disaster has done took place in your hometown, and you can't even do anything about it. And you can't even speak up on it. You can't even speak up on it. And when you pay attention to this, to yourself, you know you really done messed up in life, because life didn't stop just because you got locked up. It continues to goes on. Life destructions, the betterments of life that goes on in people's lives, that is graduating from school, or people that is upseating in jobs. It's so much that going on in life. Just because you got locked up didn't mean that it was gonna stop. So disasters goes on as well when you have storms inside the prison. And them storms inside the prison can be far more greater than the destruction on the outside of the walls of prison. Because guess what? Man brings on storms. Man brings on destruction even inside the walls of prison. I told you, when you tell somebody about just release, tell them hit that like button. Tell them hit that like button. Cause ain't no telling what I might come back with next.